to a new Eskwilax hour. This is episode 171. It's been a long time. It's been a few long years, but we are back. Episode 171, season 15. And today we sit here with Oscar Vomit. He welcomed us into his home today, so we can have a little chat with him, have a little sit down, ask him a few questions. All right, so we're here, like I was mentioning, we're sitting here today with Oscar. Thank you for having us over. This 2023, like I was telling everybody, that it's been like more than 2 years since we shot our last episode. And again, thank you for accepting our invite, I guess.
Or thank you guys for coming, man.
Yeah.
I man, really appreciate it. I'm glad to be, one of the artists participating. It's really great. I know what you guys do, and I'm glad to be here. And welcome.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to be able to, talk to people again, visit people again after all this whole pandemic stuff that's been going on the past few years. Because, some people are, they were afraid to talk to each other, afraid to go out with all this stuff that was put out there, make people afraid. But now, I guess we're back to somewhat what they call normal.
Yeah.
Compared to 2020.
That was a bad year, man. That was a really bad year. Yeah.
So, the way I met Oscar was, like I said, back in the days when we were visiting artists at art exhibits, art events, and our co-producer Marco told me about him. And Marco, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Marco.
He introduced me to Oscar at an event at the Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
You guys had? Yeah.
That was actually my first solo show.
Oh yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was 2018, I think. 2018.
And yeah, so that's how long it's been since this interview's been marinating. Yeah, because I remember him telling me about you. He's like, hey, I met this dude online. Oh, I don't know if he met you at an art show. But he told me that you guys had been in contact online.
Yeah. I think we met at Cruz Emilia's one of her openings.
Oh, all right.
So we met at one of her shows, and Marco was there, and we met and we talked, and he was like, oh, you're an artist too, and I was like, just supporting here, and we just chopped it up, and exchanged Instagrams like usual, and we just kept in touch, and
well, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, even back then I wanted to come in, or we wanted to invite you back then when we had the studio and the space to come chat with us. So we finally made it happen this year.
Nice.
And again, this is the first episode back from my hiatus, and we're glad that it's you that we're interviewing, especially because we had that connection with Marco. And
sir,
Yeah,
man.
Okay, with that being said, we're gonna ask you a couple of questions. And my bad if I'm kind of rusty, guys. It's been a while, but definitely, I'm still here, still trying to get better every day. So one of the questions that right off the bat is like, so you do your main right now, what you're doing is your photography, but you also paint, correct?
Yeah. I guess I consider myself like a multimedia artist. I like to do a lot of stuff with a lot of artistic photography and music, and just a lot of creative works.
But the way I've seen a lot of your photography, and it's like really cool. I saw that you guys were doing like a shoot yesterday. That was pretty dope. That you guys were posting a lot of it online.
Yeah, me and my girl, we do a lot of collaborative work. She's my model. She helps me out a lot with my ideas, with my themes. So from there we try to collaborate a lot with other people as well, other artists, emerging artists, already established artists. But we try to do a lot of that. Try to bring pretty much a creative side, kind of like a performing art kind of idea too. But we do a lot of photography, like I say, a lot of collaborative work with art,
And like, as far as for your photography, when did you pick up your first camera, or like what made you go into that media?
I've honestly I've always been into freaking photography as a little kid, man. I mean, there's pictures of me that me holding like one of those 90s cameras, like those kind of 80s looking one. And from there on, I mean, I could see that I've always just always admired capturing photos, just the essence of like that time frame being captured in a little photo. And I would say my first time that I could recall picking up a camera and like actually using it and taking photos or everything was in junior high. I think when elementary when I graduated 5th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, man, and I remember too. It was like no one really showed up besides my mom, So I just had my little Kodak camera. I think she even bought it for me. So I had my little Kodak, and yeah, and I remember just taking pictures of everything and everybody that was there, and my mom being there, and I remember even doing selfies with my friends. We were like, yeah,
dang, you heard that first.
Yeah,
you invented
man.
the selfie right there.
And I still might have the photos, man, to prove all that,
Yeah, I see.
So, but yeah, dude, the Kodak, the disposable cameras was like, I guess one of my first cameras that
you had to take them, and they had to like
take it, freaking wait for like a day or freaking hours, and then just get them developed and stuff like that, So yeah, I could say that was one of my first cameras that I recall, like actually working with,
As far as like being introduced to the camera, do you remember did someone in your family already had one, or?
Yeah, my aunt. She really, like I said, she was into capturing photos too of the family. She had a video camera, and yeah, like I said, I remember her having cameras, and I would like to just look at her cameras and even try to take pictures of her. It was all film. She had like film cameras, But yeah, man, that's I think how I could say that I got into it, from my aunt. She used to live with us, so she was around, and her stuff was there, But it was nothing. She was no professional photographer. She was it was more of a hobby, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then did you take any type of schooling for it afterwards? Did you pursue it in school, or?
Nah, man. For me, photography, like I said, was just a hobby, and it's just something that I really enjoyed, man. Personally, I enjoy it, and I love capturing and stuff like that.
When you take your like photos, how do you choose your theme or your?
Well, it all depends. Sometimes we discuss about it, depending on the model or the idea that I'm thinking of, depending on the theme, like I said, or the season that we're in. We try to do something, and sometimes I try to do different things. I don't like to do the same things, but everybody's always different, so sometimes it always ends up being in a way the same. But I mean, just like I said, it just depends on the person that I work with, what they have in mind. I always leave it up to them, like, oh, what do you have in mind? Oh, we could do this, we could create that, or let's do this, and I guess we collaborate and mix ideas.
Have you done like a large project this year, or what is like the largest project you've done? Like what involves?
Right now, I'm more involved right now with my art. So like I said, I'm a multimedia artist, and right now I'm more into focusing more on my art and paintings, and it's just something that I've just been more pursuing. I've been getting a couple of shows lately, and just been showcasing it. I mean, my photography is still there, but I'm trying to do a mixture now, kind of like a mixed media. So trying to incorporate both ideas, art and photography.
And as far as painting, how did you get into painting?
Painting, same way, man. I just freaking, since I was a kid, I was always into art. I like to consider myself a natural born artist, man, because when I was in freaking elementary, I used to do like little art contests and stuff like that, and just draw. I was pretty much basically good at art, dude, so I was just always into it,
Do you remember any of the art contests that you were in, like as a kid?
Yeah, one time I was with up with one of my friends. His name was Eduardo, and this guy was a great artist. I don't know what happened to him, man. If I could ever find him, that'd be great, dude. But he was like dope. He used to paint these Spider-Man and like Wolverine and X-Men and Batman, dude. Like just fighting, dude. And I was always like, damn, this is great. Like I used to think he was badass, dude. You know. And like my style was more like kind of like what I see. If I see someone, like I was more like portrait. Like I could see you and I could make it look realistic or something. You know. He had more of a creative comic book style, where I had more like a kind of realism kind of style, you know. But yeah, we went up against like, oh, who could draw this? And I guess he drew it more into like a comic book style, and everybody, I mean, all the kids were into the.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he ended up winning, you know. But I mean, the teacher was impressed with my work. It was like, oh, it looks real, you know. I can't believe you did, you know. But he ended up winning because I mean, it was just dope. Like he was just good, man. Like he was just really creative. Like he could just think of the idea spot on, you know. While I had to like kind of just wait and look at it, you know. But yeah, man, like I think since I was a little kid, dude, I've just always been into art. Everything about art, man.
But back then you were doing what, like color pencils?
Yeah,
markers?
color pencils, like freaking markers, like I didn't even get into actual acrylic painting until like a few years ago, you know.
What made you start that? Was it like just a new challenge? Or?
Yeah, new challenge. Well, I met my girl too, you know. She's more of an acrylic painter, and yeah, bro, and she kind of, you know, influenced me more, you know. Like I always wanted to do it and try it, but I was, I guess, I don't know, afraid or just had other things going on. I used to work more with spray cans, so it was just, you know, like, you know, but now I'm more into it, so it's cool, you know.
What type of work were you doing with spray paint?
Just like street art, graffiti, like tags and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to do that, so that's why I know. Yeah. Did you do any crazy productions?
No, just, well, I mean, I went around doing this Transformer, this Lou Reed phase, I mean, for a while, and it actually kind of got around, you know. It was actually pretty up. One time it actually got up into the LA Weekly.
Oh, shit.
Next to Banksy, dude. So that
shit.
was pretty sick, dude. You know, and that, from there, I mean, nothing major besides that, like just little stencils here and there, you know. But yeah, it was more like a guerrilla kind of art.
Yeah,
style,
yeah.
You know?
Did you ever get into wheat pasting?
Yeah, I did a little bit of wheat pasting too. Yeah, I did a little bit of wheat pasting. You know, wheat paste like downtown, you know, East LA a lot. You know, just pretty much that's about it. You know, whenever I would go somewhere to Las Vegas, you know, for punk rock bowling, I would wheat paste there. You know? But yeah, wheat pasting was cool, man.
Right now you're more focused on the acrylic, and do you use oil or no?
I do a little bit of oil, you know. I do like oil markers, like decos and stuff.
Yeah.
So I do, oil on canvas and stuff like that, and been like slowly getting into different mediums, you know, within the paint culture and stuff like that.
Yeah. Would you say, like, do you have a preference? Like, have you tried watercolor versus like acrylic versus oil?
Watercolor only in school, like back in the day, you know, in school, and acrylic también in school, but like I said, I never really got into it till now, you know. But yeah, I mean, just I think I've tried a lot of different mediums, you know. But the ones I'm working on with are the most comfortable for me right now, that I can just really work on as quick and get the paint on there. Because I know when you do with oil, it takes a little longer, so you gotta wait. And, you know, don't get me wrong, the work comes out clean and great, you know. But you just gotta have that patience for that painting, you know.
Yeah, acrylic is like
acrylic you
a
just
day
wait,
or two,
dude,
or even less.
Yeah. But oil, the colors are more vibrant and just deep, and you know, sick. I'm a huge fan of oil painting.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like you said, I like the way it looks, the way it comes out, the finished product. I just don't mess with it because of the whole chemical and
the whole chemical too,
you know,
mixing.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to get into that too much because you can't be in a confined space. Same thing with like a spray can. You can't like spray indoors or else you're gonna get all like sorts of fucking messed up. But yeah, like because the last show you had, well, that I went to was down here on the City Terrace.
Oh yeah, City Terrace. Yeah. City Terrace.
And I saw one of your paintings there, which was like the butterflies and the cacti and the yellows and the oranges and what I think we have it right there in the background.
Yeah.
we can later on, you can send it to us and we can put it in the background of the video, or just so we can show our audience. Can you tell me a little bit about the painting? What inspired it? The theme, or
Yeah, the painting. The painting is a new painting. I did it, finishing it this year. I have just small details to finish, but it's almost there. And it was inspired by the extinction of the monarchas.
oh,
Yeah, since they're dying out, and because of us humans, and and it's kind of like a futuristic painting, and it's just kind of a warning sign of to things that to come, or things that can happen if we keep on going in that route. And yeah, I mean, it just describes like what I felt and what I think can happen in this land. It could be one day a wasteland.
yeah.
And
You're definitely right. I can definitely see that in there. So I was gonna ask you about the little dots, but now it makes more sense.
and that's the idea of it. Like once you look at it from far, you won't understand, but when you get close to it, you'll see little things that you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, and just something in a way nice looking, but if you look in the bottom, it's just kind of trashy and not not so nice, and that's what I wanted to portray, like a little double standard kind of idea, the nice things and then the bad things that we create. And I think that's what that idea, the whole painting is about. Just I'm a fan of plants, I'm a fan of freaking like insects, so it's just something that I wanted to kind of push out there,
And what's the title of that thing? I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, that title is called "You Are Here." So when you stand in front of it, it's just "You Are Here."
Definitely. Thanks for sharing that with us, man. We're gonna take a little break and we'll be right back, guys.
Thanks.
And we're back. Thank you guys for still being here with us. Again, we're here with Oscar Vomit at his lovely home that he let us in today to have this little chat. Again, this is episode 171, season 15, the Eskwilax Hour. So we were talking about your art, and in this case, your painting with the butterflies and the monarchs. There was a gentleman that was, I don't know if you know his name, but like he was murdered over that, like in Mexico, that they had, like he was protecting like the forest where the butterflies like grow, I guess, live. And yeah, he was murdered, I believe, like 4 or 5 years ago. And because that happened, a lot more people were aware that that it was a bigger problem. So even your painting and the subject in it, that will like spark more minds when it comes to the monarchs.
Yeah.
So definitely what you're doing is really important.
Thanks.
The subject in it.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Like I said, I guess I don't know if I'm an environmentalist or not, but I love monarchas, and for Mexico, and it's just something that we are creating, And besides that, I've always been into, también se trata about recycling,
Yeah.
So the painting is too about recycling, and I'm a big recycling, junkie, so fucking, yeah, dude, I try to put a lot of ideas into that painting, And it's one of my latest paintings, and probably actually one of my biggest paintings that I've done.
Oh yeah? Do you normally work smaller, or?
Yeah, in the past, I have, but this is just one of those paintings that I have on canvas, and it's just, like I don't think I've done anything like that size on canvas,
And like this one, you said you like to put more about the environment, more about just taking care of the earth. And is it like, are you gonna make a more like a series of these, or?
I haven't thought about it, dude, but you know what? Like sometimes when I do my art, I go from different themes and just with the time that I think about something, I go with it. And if I'm thinking of something else, you know, or another freaking idea or something, a catastrophe or something, or I just do it, you know. I don't really have like a style or something that I continuously do, you know. I just, whatever I feel, I just paint it, you know.
Do you kind of remember what you were doing when you thought about the painting, like how to go about it, like how did the idea come to you?
Well, I just started it by just going with, I usually just throw colors out. And when I was doing that painting, I was doing a little series of monarcas.
Okay.
So I was just doing a bunch of little monarcas, like pop art style, you know, just doing monarcas on flowers and just different styles, you know.
Yeah.
And the more I got into like the monarcas, I just started like just hearing all this stuff on the news or on the paper or stuff like that, and it just kind of just made sense to me, like, you know, no one's really talking about it. I haven't seen any paintings of stuff like this, so, you know, why not just paint something and just to make people aware, you know?
Yeah, it does definitely, like I said, bring awareness to just, the planet going like upside down right now.
Yeah, bro, and that's what that piece is about, man. And I'm really a political dude too, you know, so I kind of like try to throw a little political sense into it, you know, but you gotta have to kind of figure it out within the painting, you know.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, like you said, you're not labeling yourself like an environmentalist, but you're more like, you're also conscious, right? You're conscious of what we're doing. And I mean, I believe like the people that do have like the power to change that stuff, you know, they just don't care. They just don't.
It's just too much money, man. It's just too much money. There's just fucking too much, just time on the money, man. You know?
Yeah, cause right now, cause I'm from Oaxaca originally, right? That's southwest Mexico, and they have a big issue with like mines down there, like just people mining for like, I don't know, gold, silver, whatever it is they find down there, and they're just trying to like destroy. Man. Yeah, down there, man, it's fucked.
Damn, dude, that sucks, man.
So, you know, people like yourself painting, you know, that type of subject is really brings awareness, and you know, that's awesome. You know, thanks for doing that, man.
Thank you.
Because, like you said, you could be painting other stuff, you know, just like what do you call those type of paintings that people do, like, you know, they set up circles and spheres.
Oh yeah,
you know,
like abstract stuff like that.
Yeah. Not just abstract, but without no, you know, it's just what everyone else is painting.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, you're bringing awareness.
Yeah, bro. And then to be honest, like I said in the beginning, when I was doing graffiti, that's how I felt. Like I was just doing what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
You know, until later when I started like working with more acrylic and actual brushes and stuff like that, then I started realizing like it's not really about that. You know, it's about what you as a person have in your head and try to, you know, put on canvas. You know, and something that really matters, you know, is what people really, I feel, like. You know.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, people love like colors and patterns and stuff like that too, you know. But like you said, it's just too simple, and it's just the same thing that everybody's doing. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just what it is. Because I've heard it from people that, you know, they go to school and they all learn the same thing. There's nothing wrong going to school and learning art and learning all like the skills. But many people that I met, they have said like, yeah, you know, you paint the Mona Lisa, you paint, you know, the Starry Nights, but that's just what everybody has to do, you know, not necessarily what they want to paint.
Exactly, man. And like I tell everybody too, like I consider myself a 21st century artist, you know. So the rules to me don't apply to like, you know, to anything that I do. You know, you look at my work and you might see, oh, it's not perfect, or it looks, missing colors, or well, that's my style, you know, that's the style I want to portray, you know, like, it's not as perfect, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to portray, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, like, I never went to school for this. I'm a self-taught artist, you know, and like I told you, I was like, I was just born to love art and to do art, you know?
Yeah.
And I just always just pursued it, and now, actually, I am pursuing it on the side, you know, trying to make something happen, trying to bring my art out there, and just
Do you remember the earliest piece of art you made?
Yeah, dude, it was in school. Same thing in school and at home, and I remember I had a show. This was in fifth grade, I think. We had a showcase a little book. This was pretty much one of my biggest projects too, because we had a showcase talk about a book, and you had to pretty much illustrate the book and write the book, and then pretty much put everything together.
Yeah.
And it was like probably like 10 pages, And this book was about war, and it was the U.S. against Mexico, and it was a book about like going at war for the land. Oh. And I don't know why. And now that I think about it, like I feel it was hard because like the kids, saw this book and there was blood in there. There was like heads being blown off.
Yeah.
And my teacher was like, "You got to read your book in front of everybody." And not everybody read it. Like a couple students did read theirs, but not everybody. And it makes me think like, why did she choose me? Like why? Like my book was crazy. Now that I think about it,
I mean, it seems like you already had very deep thoughts and ideas already going into your art way back then. You weren't just drawing Pokemans.
Yeah, dude, I wasn't. I wasn't, dude. And it's crazy because sometimes like I would get pulled out of like class and they would talk to me like counseling me, and maybe now that I think about it, maybe it was because of that, the stuff that I was drawing. Like maybe that's why they had to counsel me. But during those times when I was getting counseling, I ended up doing like more art. So I was just doing art and shit like that, But yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, how old were you? Said like you remember?
This is fifth grade, so I don't know how old I was. Probably like 10, something like 12.
Yeah, so you were young and you already had these ideas, man. Of just showing what the world's really about. Like you said, in this case, it was war.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and just stuff like that, and. Like I've had other pieces that I've done too that are about like war and more about like our culture, They're still in the works, and I would like to showcase them someday, But yeah, like I just do paint whatever I feel, man. What I think, should be talked about, or what I like, or stuff like that,
And do you have any upcoming like shows you want people to know? This is like in July, so anything in August?
August, well, we actually have a show next Saturday over here at City Terrace, the same place. We're actually looking to make that place into a little location for artists, upcoming artists, and just anybody that wants to join. Any creative people. We're trying to make it a safe, creative space. And we're doing a show on Saturday, August 5th. August 5th? From, I think it starts at 2, from 2 to whatever, 10, 11.
And how would people find you online?
Oh, yeah.
How do they reach you about that?
They could check me out on Instagram, Oscar Vomit. Yeah, there. You can check out my work, and message me, That's pretty much what I have. I don't mess with the Facebook anymore or other social media things, So, I don't know.
Like, what else? So, but you mainly do your events like in the LA area, right? Like just directly. You don't go like out of state or international yet.
Like I said, we pasted different states. We pasted in New York. We pasted in fucking Las Vegas. In Mexico. I actually went to Oaxaca.
Oh shit!
Like years ago, man, and I put some stickers up there, dude. I actually went to Juquila, Oaxaca.
Oh yeah, I know.
We went up there, dude. Yeah, dude, and we just did little stuff like that, just different random locations, man. And I've sent out my art to different places, people have my art in different states, So it's just little low key, places that my stuff has been around,
That's great, man. Just being able to like share it with the world.
Yeah, dude, and that's my goal, man. It's like I would like to at least, like impact somebody out there with my work, like because I know we're like the generation now, but we're gonna have other generations come after us, So that's what I want. Just like I saw generations that came before me, they have their work, and I look up to their work, be like, oh shit, So I would like to portray my work like that, some way. Someday someone will look back to it and be like, oh shit, somebody did this before. Oh shit.
Do you have a certain artist that like you like really inspired or
I
inspired you somewhat to keep
have
making
a
art?
couple artists that in mind, you know, like depends on different subjects, you know, like Basquiat was one of my influences, you know. Basquiat was one of them. Banksy was cool too in graffiti, you know. Who else? Harry Gamboa, he's a Chicano artist, like the Asco, you know, the East LA Art Collective, you know, and or art group, and yeah, different people from just from time that come by, man.
Do you, have you ever thought about making like a mural, like let's say like that painting, like I said? Because if I saw that, like let's say on a busy boulevard, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah.
Start thinking more about the environment rather than just myself.
Definitely, man. Yeah, if I were to get an opportunity to paint a mural, I would honestly take it. You know, like I've painted walls, but it's all been illegal. You know, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing something legal and leaving it up there. You know.
Yeah, because something like that would really impact. Like you
Oh,
said, the next generation could be like the little kid walking by and.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I see it more now as I'm getting older, more positive, ideas and accomplishments. So yeah, man, that would be great, dude.
I think you could do it too, because you have a background like in graffiti, so which is like large scale.
Oh yeah, man. Getting it funded would be the thing, though. Hopefully getting it funded, because I know it will take a lot of pain, and
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like right now we're actually working with the collective Arroyo Collective. I don't know if you heard of them, Arroyo
I
Arts
think so.
Collective.
Yeah.
And they're kind of helping us out, like promote our work and kind of giving us tips on how to get our work more out there. Get it more recognized and try to like participate in more events, stuff like that. So hopefully something could brew up in the future, man.
Yeah, if you do it, just definitely let us know. We'll come by and record it.
Sure, bro. For sure, definitely, man, definitely.
And so yeah, just want to thank you for this quick chat.
That's it, man. Gracias.
Before we end this episode, do you have any shout outs or want to say hi to anyone out there?
First I want to say rest in peace, Marco. Missing you, brother. Hopefully we can see you someday, man. And I want to give a thank you to you guys too for coming out, for coming out here and recording this, being a part of the podcast. It's great. And I want to give a shout out to my girl for always supporting, and just being my number one fan. Yeah, man, just to all my followers and friends and family and everybody, thank you guys,
Again, thank you for letting us into your space. Not everyone is able to do that, but definitely, again, thank you.
That's it, man.
And for helping us, document this day. Today, episode 171, season 15, yeah. Because this is our first episode back from our hiatus. And so thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully next week or the week after we'll have a new episode. So this has been the Eskwilax Hour, episode 171. I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.